Okay, thank you guys for joining. Today's work session is really to go over what you can do in the next 30 days to get a listing. And the most important thing, and I've started to stress this, but I'm really going to be following up with you guys, is that many of you take these trainings all the time, but you don't do anything afterwards. And really, what the point of these workshops is to give you an action plan. And so at the end of this, we're going to be going over what your action plan is for the rest of this week, for next week, for actually being able to accomplish things, right? The goal of all of this is not only to train you, but is to get you to do things which are going to help you to build your business and to help you actually get listings, right? And so if you're not on this call right now saying that I want a listing within 30 days, please get off, right? Nothing against you, but I don't want you on here because this is for people who want to do things and who want to increase their business. So your commitment, if you stay on this call, is that you are going to do these actions. You're going to give me at least 5 hours a week for the next, for the next month to do these things. And if you do that, you should have a listing, right? By the end of the 30 days, you will have a listing. But there are going to be things that you need to do. So if you can't commit to 5 hours a week, please get off the call. Again, this is not for you, right? This is for people who actually want to have a listing by June. So Anthony, I'm going to mute you. Sorry. Okay. So, again, what we have to think about is where the opportunities are going to come from, right? And if you think about it at the kind of the easiest level, opportunities come from people that right? People that who own a house, or people that who have purchased a home, even if you didn't sell it to them, right? And the other opportunities come from people that you don't know, right? And out there, when we're talking about going after sellers and getting a listing, there are people on the market right now, not using a broker, who are actively trying to sell their home, right? Those are called for sale by owners. There are people who wanted to sell their home, but it didn't happen, right? They had their home on the market, that they wanted to sell, and for some reason that property didn't sell. And those are expired listings. And there are other people out there who do not know about the market, or who maybe know about the market but haven't really considered selling because they don't know an agent who can help them out with that, right? And so we want to reach out to all these different people that we know and people that we don't know, and all the subcategories of the people that we don't know. And so I broke this down into the 5 main lead sources for a sales listing, right? The 5 main groups of people that you can target. And we'll break each of these 5 groups down based on what's happening on the market, right? And the first and really the easiest are past buyer customers that you have worked with, right? For those of you who've been in the business for a while, you're going to want to go back as far as you can and follow up with everyone you've ever sold a home to. The second group is for sale by owners. And again, we're going to go over a brief overview of what that process looks like. But there are dozens of for sale by owner listings that are out there on the market right now. The third is expired listings. And again, we're going to go over an overview of what to say in the scripts to use for all of these different lead sources. But expired listings are one where the person wanted to sell the home and the home didn't sell. And so if you can kind of come up with a creative solution for them, you can get the listing to then advertise, market, and sell. The other one is people who are the neighbors of places that are currently in contract, right? Or things that have sold recently. And again, these people might not know that their neighbor, right? Be it, a townhouse next door in Brooklyn, or a single family next door in Queens, or someone within the building. They might not know that those places sold and what they sold for and what the premium is in this market right now. And if you let them know, that's a great way to go after people by using market data to let them know what their home could sell for. And the final one is just generally owners anywhere. And the neighborhood farming, which works. I can tell you for a fact that this works. If you're doing it consistently, it will work for you. And to me, if you put an hour into each of these a week, you are going to see results. But the biggest hurdle is you, right? The fact that I don't think anyone on this call is doing all of these things and is going after listings in all these things consistently. And so you need to change your thinking and your mindset to say, if I want listings, I need to do work to get those listings. And I'm going to spoon feed you exactly what you need to do and what you need to say to these people to start the conversation. And to be able to get your foot in the door, right? That's what this is all about. Prospecting is all about getting your foot in the door so that you can go in do a listing presentation, and sell yourself, your colleagues, and Weichert as an amazing resource for them to sell their home. So again, the first, we'll start with the easiest one, our past customers, right? So think about what's happened to the market in the last few months, right? Have you told all of your past customers what is happening in New York City right now? And in my opinion, if anyone purchased 2 or more years ago, they've made some money, right? If we're looking at Queens, they've definitely made a ton of money. We're looking at Brooklyn, Staten Island, wherever they purchased over the last 2 to 3 years, or even longer ago, they're going to make even more money, right? So did you let those people know how amazing the market is for sellers right now in New York City or in New York State? And did you let them know that you can help them sell their home, right? People might have had a change of status, right? Maybe they got with someone and they're in a relationship. Maybe they broke up. Maybe they had a kid. Maybe their kids moved out of their house, right? So if you think about all the reasons that someone might want to sell their home, right? To upsize, to downsize, to move locations, save money, make money, whatever it is, you can reach out to those people that you know, right? People you sold to. And again, I would say they bought a year ago, they're probably not quite ready to sell right now, unless it's, again, in a lot of markets, if they bought a year ago, they're making a ton of money too. But again, think about this and reach out to those people. And what do you say to them, right? Here's the only script you need to use, right? This is all for you, right? Hi, Joe, how are you doing today? Can you believe it's been 5 years since you closed? How are you liking the home? I'm not sure if you've heard, but there's a lot happening on the market today. And with low inventory, you might be able to make a good profit and get into a new home. Have you considered taking advantage of this market, right? And this opens a dialogue. And this makes sure that your customers know that you're still in real estate, or that you are in real estate, and that you're here to help them, right? Think of the opportunities that you have of anyone that you've sold to. Again, many people have made a ton of money in this market. Again, I bought my house upstate in 2020. 2 years later now, it'll be two years in July. I've appreciated about 25%, right? And that's a lot of money in my pocket. So think about that for every client you've worked with. And again, the market has shifted, and there are lots of people who are going to be making a ton of money based on just the fact that time has progressed. Let them know about that, right? And reach out to those people. Those are probably the easiest ones to reach out to because you already know them. They've already worked with you. They probably liked you. I hope they liked you. But again, if you haven't uncovered those people, go and do that. And these are the easiest ones to talk to. Excuse me for a second. So the second one is for sale by owners, right? And these are, I think, the next easiest. And again, we're getting kind of progressively from people that you know to people that you don't know. But these people already have their home on the market, right? And all we need to do is build a relationship and to not ask for the exclusive, right? You don't ever want to go in there asking for the exclusive or saying, hey, I'd like to sell your home for you, right? We want to help them sell their home. You need to build a relationship of trust and confidence. And again, use these facts, right? The fact that most for sale by owners will list with a firm, the fact that they sell on average for 13% nationally than those listed with a broker, and the fact that it does take a number of contacts to actually get them to really want to work with you. And again, I've kind of condensed how to build the for sale by owner relationship. Again, your steps are to get them on the phone, and we'll go over the script in a second. But what you are doing is you are going in and offering to help them sell the house on their own. You do not want the exclusive, right? That might be the goal down the road, but getting in the door, if you say, hey, I want to come see your home and talk to you about why I can sell it better than you, it's not going to work, right? But if you say, hey, I want to help you sell it on your own, and they're going to be like, well, okay, fine, great. And they're going to let you in the door. And again, if you go and see the apartment and then ask the key questions and give them helpful information, if you offer to take photos at no cost to them, if you offer them mortgage affordability sheets from Doug, if you offer them show sheets, if you offer to help with the marketing, if you offer then down the road, and again, you do these things kind of sequentially, right? You see it, you ask questions, you build a relationship, you offer to have new photos taken for them, right? You use a professional photographer, do floor plans. You offer the affordability sheet for them, the show sheets, right? Because then you're getting your name out there. You offer to help them with marketing, to put on broker-only websites, to host open houses, to take over online marketing, whatever it is, right? You start gradually and you build up. And if you go in like this, right? My name is Jason with Weichert Properties. I want to start by saying that I'm not trying to call to get you to list with me. I would like to schedule to come in and see the property because I work with, or I'm working with buyers in the area, and I like to know everything on the market. Is there a good time for me to come today or this weekend? Or I can come after another showing to make it as easy as possible for you, right? That's all you're going to say. And if they say, why do you want to come? I want to come because I want to know what's on the market. I sell homes in Williamsburg. I sell homes in Astoria. I sell homes in Midtown East, right? Most of the time, they're going to let you in the door if you say that you want to help them sell it on their own. And they're going to say, I'm not going to pay you anything. You say, okay, no problem with that. I want to help you sell your home. And they're going to say, why do you want to do that? And you're going to say, because if I do help you, I'd love for you to refer me to any friends or family looking to sell their home. And by doing that, you're diffusing the fact they don't want to work with a broker. And again, by using this script, you're going to get your foot in the door more often, right? And that's what will help lead you to success, by getting in front of more people. Until you're experienced, and again, we have agents, and we'll talk about them down the road, that can help you get the listing once you get in the door. But your job is to get in as many doors as possible and to set up as many appointments as you can, right? If you want to have a listing, you probably need to be meeting with 2 to 3 sellers a week, right? To get one listing. That's an average conversion, right? For every 2 that you go to see, or again, like 8 to 10 over a month, you'll get 1 listing out of this. So you need to get in more doors. That's the way that you are going to get a sales listing in the next 30 days. So the third easiest, I think, is an expired listing, right? And these are ones that have exceeded their listing period. Again, they're either temporarily or permanently off market. Really, in OLR, if you're searching there, you should be looking for permanently off market. And what you do is you do something similar to the for sale by owner, but you need to figure out what happened with the last broker, and they're going to have some issues and they're going to vent about it. And you need to offer customized solutions, right? They might say, well, they didn't market it. And so you have to go in and know what Weichert's solution is. And again, this is all part of the listing presentation and working with experienced agents who have experience doing this. Maybe it was the reach of the company, right? We're not just in New York City. We're not a little boutique firm. We are boutique, but we have the breadth and the expansiveness of a larger firm. Was it the price? And maybe it was underpriced, overpriced. Who knows what it was? Most likely it was overpriced. Maybe it was the agent, right? And they're gonna complain about the agent that they were working with. They never did X, they never did Y, they never did Z. And then you're gonna say, well, I'm gonna do X, but I'm not just gonna do X, I'm gonna do X squared. I'm not gonna do Y, I'm gonna do Y squared. I'm not gonna do Z, I'm gonna do Z squared, right? Or was it open houses, right? Many people want open houses, and maybe the agent during COVID wasn't doing open houses if it was listed, a year ago, but we do open houses, right? And we're gonna get it out there to as many people as we can. So again, here's the script, right? Super simple. Hey, Joe, it's Jason with Weichert. The reason for my call is that I see you had your home listed, but it didn't seem to sell. What happened? Are you still interested in selling, right? That's all you need to say. Pretty simple. So the next one gets a little more advanced, I would say, but I think this is a really, really great thing to do, right? If you have a listing that went into contract, or if you know that something in the neighborhood went into contract, call the neighbors, right? You can get phone numbers through Property Shark, through Cole Realty, through any data sources, right? There are thousands of them out there where you can find people who live in a certain neighborhood on a block, in a building, and stuff like that. And all you're doing is giving them market information, right? Hey, I just wanted to let you know that, 123 Main Street apartment A is in contract. Have you thought about selling your property? And went into contract in a week, it went into contract in 2 weeks, it went into contract in 5 weeks, right? Even if it's not your personal listing, you can reach out to people and let them know that the market is turning in their neighborhood, right? It's especially a great thing to do if you have a listing that went into contract, because then again, you can say, hey, my listing went into contract in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever it is. You can also send emails doing the exact same thing. And again, this is what I would say. And again, also, if you're working with buyers, you can do the same thing, right? To get sales listings out of this, right? Dear neighbor, this is Jason with Weichert. I'm excited to let you know that we're currently in contract at 350 Bleecker Street. I brought the buyer, or we were quickly able to get into contract. I'm just reaching out to let you know the great news and see if you have thought about taking advantage of the market and listing your home. I would love to have a discussion of your value in today's environment, right? Super simple. That's it, right? It's a very quick conversation, and you'll know if they're interested or not, right? And you need to be able to pivot during the conversation to say, well, I don't know what I'm going to do. Interest rates are too high now. Great. Why don't you rent, right? It's a great time to rent, even though it's not. But whatever you feel, right? Or have you thought about buying in Florida? Hey, I was thinking about Florida, but I don't have a broker down there. Great. Let me give you a broker in Florida so you can start the search down there, right? It's all about pivoting, right? And it's all about reacting to people. And again, think of every opportunity that you have based on who you're working with, or the things that you have in contract or people you've closed with, right? And let them know the services that you can provide to them. You need to talk to a lot of people, right? Again, it's called prospecting because you got to sift through a lot of dirt to get to the gold. In the same way, you need to be making dozens of phone calls every time you do this. And you can't expect that the first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, maybe even the 100th will say no. But it's that 101st one that you make that will say yes, and that will allow you to kind of continue and to build more business, right? If I said to you, right, that if you worked for 30 hours, you get one sale listing, would you do it, right? Is that a good trade-off for you? I think most of you would say yes. But when we work, it can be difficult because many of us will get distracted, right? Our phone will ring, someone will call us, we'll get an email. That's not working, right? Working is sitting in front of the computer or sitting with a list of people and just calling, dialing, right? And so you need to block out time in your calendar. We'll talk about that as we get to the schedule and get through this next one. And again, neighborhood farming, market updates, right, is generally a way that you can do this, right? And this is both emails and phone calls. And again, the same scripts can be used in emails, the same scripts can be used in text, the same scripts can be used in phone calls that you make, right? To people in a neighborhood, right? And wherever it is that you want to work, you know, Anthony, if it's in Williamsburg, right? You want to introduce yourself and your services in the first email. You want to send market updates in the second. You want to tell them about recent contract activity in the third. You want to tell them about buyers that you have or that there are buyers looking in your area. And the fifth one is just listed. And again, Ritalin can help you get these all together. And at the same time, if there are phone numbers in there, call the people who click on your emails, right? Hey, it's Jason with Weichert. I'm not sure if you're aware of what's happening in your neighborhood right now. And again, is inventory limited and there are more buyers than we've had in forever? Or are properties going for over ask and little time, right? And usually right now in New York, wherever you are, one of those is going to be the case. I would love to talk to you about your goals and how you can best take advantage of this market. Let me know if tomorrow at 5 or Saturday at 12 might work for us to meet, right? Super simple scripts. All you're trying to do is help people and help them figure out what's going on in the market, how that can benefit them, and how you can help them, right? That's our job, right? Our job is to help people take advantage of wherever the market is. It's a buyer's market, a seller's market, renter's market, landlord's market, whatever it is. That's what we need to be doing. We need to be reaching out to people to be able to tell them of what's happening and how we as agents can help them take advantage of this market. So again, the next steps are the most important to me here, right? And what I say is time block your schedule to do 5 hours a week of seller prospecting, right? If you want a listing in 30 days, for the next 4 to 5 weeks, you need to spend 5 hours doing one of these activities or doing these activities in whatever way you want to. You need to keep track of everyone in a spreadsheet, right? Their name, their address, how you got their contact information, what the conversation was, and any objections and any appointments that you made, right? Because then we can see, are you actually taking advantage of these 5 hours a week to make calls, right? In 5 hours, you should be able to make at least, right? At least 30 calls an hour, unless you get someone on the phone, and then maybe it's going to be down from there. But if you're just getting no, you should be able to get through at least 30 calls in an hour. Again, part of this is being prepared and putting together the list of people you're targeting, the list of people you're calling in advance, right? And again, what we want to do is keep track of their objections, right? Well, I'm not doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing whatever. That way we can keep them updated, right? And we can know the objections that you're getting and how I can help you get through them if you can't do it yourself, right? And once you get a good lead, what you want to do is go on the listing appointment, right? And that's the whole idea of this, that we're going to get into conversations with people. And basically for everyone but the for sale by owner, we go on the listing appointment, right? The for sale by owner, we want to build that relationship first. And then eventually, hopefully they'll want to list with us. But if you're new, right? Or if you haven't gotten a lot of exclusive sale listings, one of the biggest objections that we get from people are that, oh, how many of you sold in the neighborhood? How many of you sold in the building? How many of you sold wherever? And for many of you who are newer to the business, you can't answer that effectively, right? So what you can do is you can team up with one of our experienced agents. And I put down here 4, and we have many, many more than this. But these 4 are 4 of our top listing agents, right? These people have a higher than 50% conversion. And again, I think Peter's almost at 100%. Leslie's in the 80s, Will's in the 80s, and Tanya's in the 80s as well, right? So when they go on a listing presentation, it is more than likely that they get the listing. And that's based on the experience that I've had with them, right? And so Peter works in Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, and Long Island. Leslie works in Manhattan, Westchester, and the Bronx. Will works in Manhattan, Queens, Brooklyn, and Long Island. And Tanya works everywhere and also in New Jersey. And here are their phone numbers, right? So if you get a listing appointment and you are not at a point where you feel like you can do it yourself, take them with you. Take Suzanne, take Eunice, take one of our experienced agents that you feel like you can work with. I always tell people this, and a lot of people don't listen. It is better to split a listing with someone, right? To do it 50-50 and to get the listing than to keep 100% of nothing for yourself. And these people will make sure that you're learning how to do the listing presentation, that you can get through the objections that the sellers might have, and a lot of other things, right? And these are great resources of people that you can team up with to go after listings, right? And so your job is to get the opportunities and they will help you do it. And again, if you don't want to work with any of them, let me know where the opportunity is and we'll find someone for you to work with. And if you want to do it on your own, great. But again, I can tell you for my first, I think 8 to 10 listings that I got, I would always team up with someone because I wanted to learn more and I wanted to have a lot more under my belt before I tried to do it on my own. And again, some people like to do it on their own. That's totally fine too. But I can tell you that these people and the experienced agents at the office will help you increase your conversion and you will learn a lot from them. That's it, right? This is simple. This is pretty simple. You need to get yourself in front of sellers to create opportunities. And again, my hope for you is that you will, do this. And I'm going to follow up with you guys all this week to see how it's going and how you've time blocked your schedule, right? This is something that is super simple, but you need to dedicate at least 5 hours a week to doing this. It can be 5 hours, from noon to 5 one day, or it can be 1 hour a day, right? Whatever it is, you need to take action. That is the only way you will make money and that you will get listings is by taking action. That's it for me. I'm going to stop the share and I'm going to stop the recording, but I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys have.